You're going to experience a guided clarity journey to gain important information from within, a neuroscience-based technique to reset your central nervous system when triggered. And we're going to take you through a body-centered technique to attune your presence within yourself. I'd like you to first stick your hands out and move your feet around and kind of move your ankles around. And then I'd like you to reach up high and just stretch. The more stretching and spaciousness that you can get in your vertebra, especially, and in any of your joints, the easier it is for these parts of us to communicate, and they don't get stuck and stopped, which is, just one of the reasons why movement is so important for us. When we start to get stagnant energy in the body, our soul can't talk to us because we can't hear it. Notice your own specific stuck places, and maybe bring some breathing for a moment. If you're watching this on a replay, I invite you to do this as well. Don't shortchange yourself. Take a moment and just get yourself ready and go through this journey with us. It's kind of boring to watch the journey. It's much more exciting to go through it. And start to come to a still place. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And as you just come to stillness, I'd like you to exhale. And when you exhale, see if you can, kind of like you're squeezing the last little bit of toothpaste out. Exhale all the old stale air from your belly. There's way more in there than we realize. Get to the bottom of that breath. Pause. And then take your hand and put it on your belly. And the other hand on your chest. And just take a deep breath in and fill up your belly first. And then your chest. And your neck. And your head. You'll probably notice a tightness in your chest a bit because we're not warmed up yet. Just hold it for a second and then release it. And when you release, make an audible sound. Let it get all that air out. Pause at the bottom of the breath. When it's no longer comfortable, again, take a deep breath and fill up your belly. Fill up your solar plexus and your chest. Your neck. I can even feel how constricted I am in this area. Go up all the way to the top of your head. And then just pause and just hold it for a minute. I've found that doing this actually is one way to gently start to expand and relax these tight muscles. It also super oxygenates your body. So you're getting air into your cells. Later, you'll find that you can hold your breath a long time after the breath work we're going to do. When it's more comfortable, exhale. Exhale it all out. Allow, if you have a moan or a sigh, that kind of vibrates your esophagus. It's like a massage on the inside from your belly all the way up. It's that vibration releases tension. And the more tension you can release with this process, the better it's going to work for you. I'm going to get quiet for a minute and give you just about 30 seconds to breathe on your own. Nice deep breaths. I want you to pause at the top and bottom of the breath. Just enjoy a nice, deep, easy breath. You're attuning and connecting to your breath right now. kind of get settled into your essence. Feel what you feel like. What's it like to feel you as you breathe deeply? Let the energies in you start to come to the surface. We often shove them down and they hide out in our body in different places. We're loosening that up. And I've found that there's a way to use the breath to sensitize you, to help you to feel the subtle sensations even more clearly in your body. And also, this breath that I'm going to take you through, it's a faster breath. And it's going to get you a little bit woozy and in a slightly altered state, a non-ordinary state of consciousness. And that's going to be helpful for the work we're doing. So find your next out breath. And then we're going to have you speed up the breath. It's going to be a cyclical breath. You're not going to hold your breath at all. It's going to be in and out, in and out, in and out. It's going to be pretty fast, faster than you'll probably want to breathe. It's going to be, you're taking lots of air in and lots of air out. We're going to do that for about 2 minutes. It's going to get you nice and woozy, and it's going to put you into an altered state of consciousness, and it's going to be very helpful. Remember, in through your nose and out through your mouth, kind of forcefully. Allow your spine to even move on the in breath and the out breath. That helps. That movement helps. See how deep you can get. Might even start to be perspiring. There's this little bit of sweat on your skin. 30 more seconds. Fifteen more seconds. Now just start to breathe and exhale really slowly. Take a nice breath in, but now it's the exhale we're focusing on. I want you to do a long, deep, slow exhale, like 15 seconds. This is a Kundalini exhale, a long, deep, slow exhale. When it deepens your relaxation, sends you into a much deeper state. Deep breath in. Long, deep, slow exhale. Do that at your own pace for about 30 seconds. Make sure you breathe in through your nose, and then as slow of an exhale as possible. It's going to send you deeper into this slow place. Start to match the cadence of my voice into a really still place. Allow your breath to return to just a normal, slow, deep breath. In this slower place, following the cadence of my voice, turn your attention to the top of your head. Notice what your head feels like. In your forehead, your temples, your cheeks, and your chin, your neck. Just close your eyes and notice how your head feels. And then return to just noticing what's happening in your interior place. Notice if there's any tension or any pain or any sensation at all. If there's any energy in any places. Sometimes people notice in their eyes or their cheeks or their temples, their neck. Notice what's specific to you. If there's any energy flow one direction or another, just become really present to the very subtle differences inside of you. And then move down to your shoulders. A lot of people have a lot of tension in their shoulders. Just feel what's showing up. If there's any weight or heaviness, if there's any pain. And go all the way down your spine and notice how your spine feels. This area of nerve centers in your body. See if any part of your back, upper, middle, or lower back is talking to you. And come around to your chest and notice, does my heart feel open or closed? Does it feel armored or blocked? Is there any energy flow? Sometimes people see or feel color. Notice if there was a color here, what color might it be? Go down to your rib cage where your ribs meet, your solar plexus. A lot of people have tenderness there. It's where my anxiety shows up. And especially if I'm feeling anxious about something I've done or not done. Notice how it feels in your solar plexus. And down to your belly. Sometimes people feel this heaviness in their belly. Notice what your belly feels like. Then down to your hips. Notice if your hips feel tight or open. And to your reproductive organs, and notice how they feel. Are they blocked or numb? Or are they active? Is there energy flowing there? And then to your seat, where you're connected to your chair. Notice if there's any energy there. And then we skipped your arms. Go back up to your arms and just notice down your arms and elbows and hands if there's any sensation happening there. Then down your legs to your knees. Knees often talk to us. And then down to our calves and feet. Notice where your feet are connected to the ground. And is there anything in your body communicating in a subtle way or in a not so subtle way? This is the signal that we're going to follow. And I'm going to, now that you kind of have a baseline, I want you to listen for some things I'm going to say. Notice if maybe you're sedentary, if you're not active enough. Notice what happens when I talk about being sedentary, about the choices you make instead of choosing movement. And you know that this might make a big difference in your life. And so ask yourself, well, what difference would it make? What would be different if I moved several times a day in a way that I knew was good for me? It was more than what I'm doing now. What would happen? What would become possible for me? And listen for an answer from a wiser part of you. What would become possible with more movement? And ask, what type of movement would be best for me? And perhaps it's a part of you that is longing for connection with yourself. But sometimes it's harder with yourself to be able to make that connection to these parts of you, to your essence. So let's ask this deeper part of you, what kind of connection do you long for? What do you want from me? How do you want me to connect to you? And what practices can I do that would help me to feel connected to this deeper part of me? And perhaps there's a part of you that doesn't feel fully safe, that you go to fear, that fear comes up. Maybe it's fear for yourself around situations you're in, your environment, or around how other people treat you, emotionally or physically. Or maybe it's fear for others. Maybe there's a part that goes to this fear and worry about other people and their choices and their circumstances. So let this part of you that goes to fear, ask it, what do you want from me? What will help you to find safety? Ask, how can I show up to bring greater safety within? Maybe you have strategies for dealing with your safety. It might include controlling yourself or others. Or you might have other strategies. Sometimes people just get very disempowered and they collapse. They feel overwhelmed and they just freeze and don't do anything. Notice which parts of you are showing up in this conversation. And when you go to these coping mechanisms of controlling people or freezing or collapsing or fighting, some people fight when they're afraid. Ask, what do I need instead? What can I do differently? Let these inner parts give you some information. You might be hearing answers. You might be seeing pictures. You might just be feeling energy in your body in some way. But notice if they're responding. And if you're more of a somatic person, you feel like, oh yeah, that pain has moved from my neck up to my head. Don't worry, there's something we can do with that in the work we're going to do after. So just take note of what's happening. Could be you're noticing emotions move through you, or you might be seeing memories of your life. There's only a few ways your unconscious mind can talk to you, and these are the main ones. And it could be that when you get afraid, you go to confusion, and you feel disempowered, and you go to this place of self-doubt, like you can't trust yourself, or you don't feel confident with your decisions, like you can't do it alone, that you need help. And there might be this young part, or this scared part, or this disempowered part that needs something. Ask it, what do you need? In order to feel strong and confident? Which tools might be helpful? We are listening to our body. We're listening to our emotions. We're listening to our sensations. I'm going to get quiet for 1 minute. And you're going to get a chance to just be in this place and ask yourself questions. What you need, what's next for you, what your edge is, in order to be able to thrive in this life. Whether you're sensitive or not, whether you consider yourself a healer or not. What do I need? Remember to breathe, stay quiet and internal. And I'll call you back in a moment. Give 15 more seconds. Wrap up any internal conversations. And thank whatever parts of you are showing up, whatever answers are coming. And come to a close. Go ahead and maybe move your head from side to side, move your spine, shake out your fingers and toes. And slowly at your own pace, come back to join us in this room and start your video if you haven't, so we can see you and see that you're with us.